Hello and welcome. Hope your, gosh, what day is it? Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Maybe it's Tuesday. Wednesday is going wonderful. Goodness. Ours is going awesome. Just had the stock market open, and there was a bunch of fireworks going off overnight into early futures tradings. If you've been following, I'm sure you have. Our SPX is up to 18% at open. Chances are it'll probably lose some of that, but definitely very down going into open today. Our strike prices are, let's get on the correct expiration first. That's very useful. Curious to see where the strike prices are at. If there's, it's not too bad. I was wondering if some of the prices were going to be off, but they actually seem pretty good. I know in August when they had a huge drop off going into the one day, it was really telling in the prices to get into stocks because there wasn't a way that you could actually profit when it was occurring, unfortunately. So let's see here. We have our marks already in line here for our QE5 signal. Definitely looking like things are going to be moving ahead for us. So hopefully you've had enough time to look over the legal disclaimer I've had on your screen. If you have any questions, make sure you message me or go to our website. This disclaimer is on there as well. But we just want to make sure that we cover a couple of things before we get started. Remember that it is a virtual account that we will be showing you information from today, and this is a signal that we do live trade, but it's easiest just to show with the virtual account like the possibilities with it. And again, this stream is purely for educational purposes. If you have questions about stock options or the trading of the stock options or how to place the trades and that sort of a thing, or feel free to ask questions. I will go through how we place our trades um, and how we've been able to successfully trade the QE5 indicator that we are using for this stream. So feel free to ask any questions, type in chat. I do have chat up if you are interested in what's going on and if you have any other questions. Let me know. All right. Let's see. Not too bad. I forgot to open one of my windows prior to starting the stream up, so just going to adjust that really quickly. And bring up our correct window here. There we go. So lots of stuff going on today. My partner's talking to me about another signal that we follow, our OT. We haven't actually put any of the information up for that yet, but there is a good signal for that. Lots of stuff going on today. Gold is going really well. Market tailspin. There, so on top of it, Europe as well has been going crazy. If you check down here, DAX is down 2.2% right now. The Nikkei 225, that's the Japanese exchange, the more well-known one, that one was down almost 4% today. So there was a lot of negative movement, and just this year specifically, starting in January, there has been a very telling, just whatever, for whatever reason, it seems that when the world is down, we tend to be up. When the world is up, we tend to be down. It's just some sort of weird, funky trend that's been going on. Hmm. Let's see. Let me get my stuff back situated correctly here. Anyways, getting back to signals here. We had a huge upswing at the open there. Um, I pretty much could have told you that there was going to be a huge buy at open today because of all the sell-off and the downtrend from just the trading previous. And of course, everybody bought, and then here's more sell-off when that moved up. It's just been a very common trend. I'm looking to go red here actually relatively soon. We're sitting on a doji candle without any movement. There's the red. Excuse me. And here we're going really red now. Now the question is, how far down do we go? Wow, how far down did we go? 183.48 was the low. That was very early in futures trading though. Whoops. It won't let me auto arrange it. Oh well. There's a potential for a call signal to jump up there. We still have 7 more minutes until our trade would actually be placed. So we're gonna specifically for our QE5 signal, um, we like to stick within the 75 cent range to the 105 range. We're definitely going to be over the 105 range on 188 strike if it were to signal for the QE5 for the call side. So I'm just going to go ahead and prep the call one down here at the 189 strike. We're going to do some quick calculations here off of the account value. So we're at 111,000, so it'd be 11,100. We'll just approximate that for right now. It's going to change, so we'll just take that number. It makes it relatively easy. Then we're going to divide it by, where were we at? We're really dropping now. Less and less likely. I'm going to guess it'll probably be around 80 cents if it were to actually signal. So we're going to divide that by 80 about. So I'll go with 135 because yesterday I went off of my guesstimate and it actually was a little more off than I had guessed. It's not a huge difference just because it's a virtual account, but when you're doing live trading, you want to be pretty certain of those things. You can also change that right before the signal will actually hit. We just do the market buy. I'm not looking to do anything special. If we were to be looking to place this, we would preview the paper trading order, and then we would just go on and preview and then proceed with sending it. But we're going to save it over here, and it keeps it in this little column right here for us. So bring back up our investing screen here. Go over to StockTwits, see what they're talking about. they like to do some crazy talking, especially this time of day. Some pretty good data in our database uh, for a decent amount of gains today. We might be going for another, oh, I don't know, 6 to 8%. We'll see yet, depending on what it looks like when it comes closer. We're hitting the 5 minute mark till the signal, possibly. We got a green candlestick starting, but we had a huge down signal. Chances are good our momentum is not carrying us upward. We're actually, at this point, I would say, have a bigger chance of having the put signal come through. It's literally almost $1 that it has to move downward. That's not unheard of, but if that actually happens, that would be a definite dive, and there's probably going to be quite the carry through, bringing it down much further. Looking at my other chart here, and it looks like that might actually be what's happening. There's potential for bounce on the 5 minute chart I'm looking at on the other screen is for other signals that we're watching. Not a ton of support for it either, actually. Um, Prior to opening, it kind of just plowed right through it, going up and down. Actually, there's a little bit in here. We'll see. But if you're just beginning to tune into the stream, welcome. If you have any questions, please feel free to type in chat. I do have chat up. We're going to be talking more about our stock options indicator, the QE5, and how we do the trade. We already have our first potential signal queued up, even though it's looking less and less likely as minutes wear on. We're already up to 18 to 10 here, and we're definitely moving the wrong direction. The best choice would have been for a call, but it seems that with the buy-in at the open and then the sell-off continued because they knew the buy-in was coming, and taking those quick gains and getting out seemed to be the recipe for the open today, as well as the past almost 2.5 weeks. But who's to say that that's will carry on further until it actually happens? Gonna put some notes into my head trader log here. We're having some pullback. I'm not sure that it'll have enough momentum. We're gonna definitely be looking for about a 10 o'clock signal here. If we get to 10 and we don't have a signal still, I'll walk you through the signal that happened yesterday. It was actually a really great QE5 for us. We made 8% in literally under 2 minutes. It was 1 minute and 46 seconds. But unfortunately, there was just so much downward movement that we just didn't have a chance to have any more gains. So there was only so much you can do when that happens. Oops, I apologize. But we were definitely happy with the 8% that we got. Moving back up here. One minute to go. We do have quite the up, but that would have to have some major buy-in to hit our signal. Yep, we just missed it. Strong potential for a 10 o'clock one though. because it really seems like it's trying to go upwards, but that could easily sell off again in the next 15 minutes. We'll see what happens. Our call signal doesn't have as much data. It's still actually pretty good. I'm going to be just going with the lesser percent on this one though. Not as strong for a larger gain, but that still is definitely worthwhile. See how close or far off that we are from our purchase price that I had inputted. Yep, we're actually not far off. Going the wrong direction now. See what's happening on StockTwits. Throw that up there. So the next QE5 signal that we would have happen would come around at 10 a.m. and I'll walk through leading up to that what it would do. We're actually above our indicator line. We actually also put in our huge jump. We'll see if this holds a lot of time here. We put in a couple of indicators on our directions here, and with just the arrows, it kind of gives you an idea of the direction of where some of the other signals that we follow say that it's going to go. What's funny is that even though this is an up arrow, but it's painting or looking red right now, that actually does tell us information as well. Just had someone say that they couldn't actually see anything. Is anybody able to see what's going on my screen right now, or am I just talking to you folks? Just doing a check to make sure the stream's actually working, because that'd be unfortunate. Yeah, the telling here on the 1 minute is that though it was coming down, it didn't actually move that much further. This one definitely came from all the way up here, gapped up quite a bit actually, and then went down, moving back across. So we're about 11 minutes away from what would be our QE5 signal. And basically what that is the QE5 stands for quick and easy 5%. And essentially we check through our signals and we place these two lines from the information that we track with our QE5 indicator. And we trade with the stock options, as you probably well know. Most of you that have come to our channel via StockTwits know exactly what I'm talking about. So if there is questions on that, feel free to type in chat and I'll explain it further. Otherwise, I'll just continue. Yeah, this whole week has been very volatile, up and down, up and down, up and down. And basically, scalp trading is going to be the best way to be making money. And essentially, that's what the QE5 signal is. As I mentioned previously, at 10, if we don't have a signal that uh, actually is indicated on our screen here. I'll just go through the trade that happened yesterday and explain how that went. That one in a minute and 46 seconds actually was good for a lot more than 8%, but we took 8% just to be on the safe side of gains. Any questions or comments, feel free to throw them up there in chat. I do have it open. Just trying to make sure that I don't skip over anything. Going the wrong way for our signal that would paint in 10. Just out of curiosity, where is everybody from this lovely Wednesday? And also, I'd appreciate it if you could just let me know if you can see my screen or see something, or if you just see our logo right now. I'd appreciate it. Thanks in advance. I need to not do it that way. Sorry about that. Just figuring out how to go between my screens without messing stuff up. Alright, so my partner was gracious enough to let me know that he can see what's going on, so that's good. It had me worried for a second. I'm okay with talking, but I'm sure that people love to actually see what's going on. More choppy up and down. Have another down signal here. That means that we're not going in the correct direction for our signal at 10. Maybe we'll have some pullback. Still have. When it gets under 5 minutes, that's when it's more crucial for it to be going in the correct direction. We're okay right now. It can kind of go back down if it wants to. Hopefully it goes back up, however. So a little bit about ARHK Holdings. Adam essentially made the company a good time ago, and around 4 years ago we started exclusively trading with his QE5 indicator and building a huge database. And this is the shortened version of the history, of course, but basically last year I called him up, and I'm his cousin, and was like, hey, do you want any help with that? And so basically I started helping him out as the head trader, and him and I together have been trading the QE5 indicator since about May, June. June is when we actually got my internet issues figured out, and because I'm actually streaming from Japan. Love it out here, but definitely some late nights. But I definitely enjoy trading the QE5 indicator. It is really fun watching how well it works and the percentages that can be gained in short amount of time, especially by using our database with over 4 years of solid data points in it. Yep. So we're heading back to the middle between the channel that we got that we're looking to break through one way or the other. Unless we get a huge sell-off continue for the next about 6 minutes. Which right now, honestly, this indicator down for some of the indicators that we use is pretty telling of being correct. Excuse my screen a quick second. Keeps complaining to me that I need to clean my cache. Yeah. So this little arrow right here was telling us on our 1 minute chart that we got some down coming up, and it was actually spot on. Good for a 70.7 move or so. Gonna throw some music on in the background. Since it looks like I'm gonna actually, yeah, this arrow is actually another indicator that we are working on still, but it's definitely not tried and true yet, but we definitely have been following it actually. What was I just gonna do? Oh, I was gonna set up my next, because it looks like we might have a put signal coming up. We're gonna do the 179. What was the cost here? For it to go through, so it'll be about 93. Go with 119 for this one, just to have it prepped. In case. Make sure we got the right strike. Create the order. Have the right quantity. It's on buy. We're just going to do market so that it fills. Don't have to worry about that. Going to save it. Just have to make sure I click the right one when I send it. We're 3 minutes out from our QE5. Of course, we're going to have some pullback here because, well, we just moved down a whole ton. As I said, from here down to there. Well, to there actually. We actually went a little lower. But that was about a 0.7 move. 0.7 point move. Let me know if the music's too loud, or if you would like just some sort of jazz or classical, that's fine too. This is just actually what I had on right now. So, oh, and here we go. We're dumping some positions right now. Now we're good for almost a full point move on that arrow. Looks like more red coming through. Probably busted through our line. We're 2 minutes out now. So it's going to kind of go quick here. Once around 9:59 hits, I start to watch real time just this number right here. I stopped watching this candle because it takes a little bit of time for it to actually get to Thinkorswim and then sent to me to visually see. So what I like to do really is just to see, okay, my point is at 184.09. Okay, so we're below 184.09 quite a bit right now. Let's see, look up here at the top, we have 1 minute. And my clock actually on my computer is actually lagged by about 5 seconds. And that 5 seconds when you're trading specifically online can be huge. So I'm just going to sit here and watch on this. I'm actually just going to bring this up. I might actually just move this over a little bit so that I can actually, we'll do this. I know that my screen isn't going to fit as well. But for purposes, it'll show kind of, you'll see it here and then you'll see it here. And I'm also watching what the time is up here. So as soon as we hit, I'm going to be filling about 119. Remember, this is a virtual account. We're just going to show you what's going on. We're actually above our line now. We need to get back down below 09 for it to paint. We got about 6 seconds. So we missed it. Barely. That tells me that it's probably going to go up. here relatively quickly. That or it might have just been slightly off. One of the two. We'll see what happens though. One thing that's for sure though, this next indicator that we're working on is definitely spot on. Because it was all the way up to 185.15, but it opened at 185.01 and it reached a low of 183.99, 184. Yeah. This definitely sets us up though for the next signal point, which would be 10:15, because we're working off the 15-minute chart. So when this paints below, we're gonna be placing our order. This is actually probably better because I'm always a lot tighter in the trades for sell points when we're looking at coming off of a long sell off or a long period of sell offs. So with a smaller candle here, that'll be a lot easier for me to look at the data and be able to kind of pinpoint, okay, how much risk are we willing to take? Our XPX is doing really well now. It's up over 20%. This account we've been running since the beginning of December. We've only had this position as well as we've been trading our QE5 indicator since the beginning of December. We're only using 10% risk. We actually started with 5% risk in December. That's why it's not as high as it could be. But some more data coming across. It's 10:02, so we're going to bring this back up. See what we have going on StockTwits. It's quite comical. It's a trap. If you've been following the markets today, what are some things that have most interested you with the information coming across? I know there are some things specifically that I've kind of really keyed on, this being one of them actually. The Asian markets set the tone for the day, and that was a negative one, unfortunately, but just truthfully. Seems that my stream isn't running. See if I can reload that. There we go. We're running now. When I change through, my internet over here in Japan can sometimes stop my JavaScripts from running on web pages. It's kind of frustrating. I apologize if that's ever the case. Feel free to let me know if it stopped or not. While we're waiting, feel free to check out our website. You can also follow us on Facebook as well as on StockTwits as well. We always are posting. But in case if for whatever reason you're able to just tune into the stream, if you click the subscribe button, you'll always be told when we're going to be going live. And normally that will only be when we are going to be doing a trade. So, looking really good actually. We're only probably about 11 minutes from our first signal of the day. We haven't had an up arrow, and that's what we're kind of looking for this to change back to go the other direction. So now we're all the way down to 83.72 for a low. So quite the gap on this specific strike, actually. It closed yesterday at 27 cents. Had you held that overnight, you'd have been in for quite the gain. 158% gain overnight. That's pretty good. So there's the line that we're looking to hit yet again. And we're above it. As I said in the first like 20 minutes of the stream or so, it's been very volatile this week specifically, even more so than last. So this is not all that surprising, though it is frustrating. Yesterday we were lucky enough to have a quick signal, and the only reason I haven't gone over our signal from yesterday was because of the chances for the actual signal. But what I'll do here at 10:15, if this once again fails, I'm getting faked out a little bit too much here by this SPY today. But if this signal at 10:15 fails, I will go over the trade that we made yesterday, and then I'll close the stream out, and then we'll post again if there was a chance for another. Maybe it'd be another signal of a call by then. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. I mean, just in this 15 minutes, we've gone from we've moved almost 3/4 of a point in this 15 minutes alone, and it's only 8 minutes in. It was moving this much when most of the firms weren't even trading. So there's been some pullback, but it looks like we're running into a little bit of resistance here. At a doji here. So input on if My music is too loud or not loud enough. Ready to go. Looking at the database, 10-15 put. Decent data, but we'll just stay with our conservative 5 or so percent gains. See what it says. I still have both saved. Probably could get rid of my call at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just so I don't accidentally place the wrong trade. In case you just joined the channel, we're working with our QE5 indicator. We're going to be going off of these two signal lines, and we've been staying inside the channel. We have been outside. Unfortunately, we painted inside, so we have not taken any positions as of yet. Our SPX that we've held for, it's got to be at least 2.5 weeks at this point. I think we've had it. Might even be 3. But aside that, we've only traded our QE5 indicator. During December, we only used about 5% risk of our entire portfolio, and this is a virtual account, remember. We do trade it live as well, but just for easy purposes and to show everybody what's going on and how it's been going for a longer period of time, we just decided to use this method to show everyone. This is killing me. Is it this one? I'm getting my warning about too much memory used, etc. Keeps coming up. Something I'll have to work on after the stream today. 2 minutes out, 1.5 minute out officially. Hopefully we can have a signal showed. If not, like I said, I will go over yesterday's signal. When it hits about that 1 minute mark, as I said before, I normally don't even watch the candlesticks any longer. I'm actually just eyeballing over here as well as the time. We're going to be about a minute to go when we're actually under 184, which is great because that is the line that we need to be under. XPX just hit 20%. That's always nice to see. So if we stay in here for the next about 45 minutes, we will have our first QE5 signal. A couple of things will happen as we have a huge pullback and shoot above, but if we were to have the signal paint below our QE5 line, I would send this order. I would click here, click that send button, and then once it fills, I would go down here, and then I would we'll enter that sell order as fast as possible. I will just figure out the 5% from where it is, however, and we're going the wrong way yet again. All right, so yet again, it does not like us. So we're gonna go back to yesterday. Back to that. So actually, our indicator for that we're working on signaled this downtrend, and here it was. We were actually looking at it being a call on open. Let's see, it was Is that what it was yesterday? Goodness gracious. I'm going to look it up now. I don't want to misinform and misspeak now. Wait for my screen to adjust. Go to the history. Alright, so last 3 days. It was 185, and it was a put. That's what I thought. So we're going to change our. Oops. Sorry about that beep there. It's telling me that I messed up. 185. Alright. So here's where we were yesterday. We had our signal paint right at 9:45. For whatever reason, using the virtual account yesterday, it took about 50 seconds for it to actually place the order. Not sure why. I don't know. But so we placed our order, and we got a 102 fill. And essentially, what happened was, I think the line was around like in here or so, and it painted at 189.12. So we placed our order immediately. So it actually, had we been able to paint or get our fill immediately, it would have been at 98 cents. But we actually had our fill up further at 102 right there. And then our target price was 110. We went for 8% yesterday. We had really good data points. We had over 20 trades logged. And from there, it actually said that we could have taken more than 8%. But being conservative as it is, I just went with the smaller amount there. So it was 7.31 officially. The signal was actually good for 25%. This movement from the 101 fill point, as you can see right here, at 45.50, and then it actually sold at 47.36. So it gained us about $750 in about that minute and 46 seconds that it took to sell. So it was a very good, very fast signal. Quick and easy 5%. It definitely hit the 5% mark. As we paint, as we're really going below now, going below the line. So this would be our put strike if we were to fill it. Still have 12 more minutes to go on that. SPX is looking really good with our down movement. We actually just dropped quite a bit, actually. So once again, thanks for joining the stream. If you have any questions, feel free to type in chat. I do have it up. Comments, questions, criticism. We are open for all input at this point. We're definitely just trying to make it the best learning experience for you and to best educate people on how to use our QE5 indicator. Check out our website, arhkholdings.com. You can also follow us on our Facebook page there. It's on the stream. And lastly, you probably are here from StockTwits. Feel free to follow us on StockTwits as well. Between subscribing to the channel and our posts on StockTwits, we should be well appraised on when we are streaming. This morning has been a very it's just been very rife with possibilities for signals, so I've just been streaming this whole time. But we're going to be more sticking to if we go far away from a chance of signals being triggered, we're just going to cut the stream off. You probably have other things to do, but when we pop up, we're definitely going to be showing you exactly what we do with our indicator and how it works. But by follow or subscribing to the stream there, you're able to see see exactly when we're going to be streaming. There may be some random times that we might be doing other things, and you'll be able to tell probably. Most of our signals happen earlier in the morning as well, but sometimes there will be signals later in the day. For the most part, though, they kind of happen before noon, just from when we look at our database for the past 4 years or so. Once again, this indicator, specifically the QE5, is called Quick and Easy 5%. It was thought up and basically designed by my cousin Adam, and him and I are partners with that make up ARHK Holdings, and we'd love to help educate you on how to better use the signals. So we decided to put up this trade room for you to be able to tune in and kind of see how we do it, and if you want more information or potentially some other ways that we can help you, feel free to email us or message us. You can even message us on StockTwits if that is what works best for you. We're 9 minutes away here. I'm going to expect a little bit of pullback, but looks like we're looking pretty good for a QE5 signal here at 10:30. Plug that in my database here. Gonna make a quick note in my trader log. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright, and I'm back. Was just trying to make sure that you didn't have to hear a bunch of clacking from me typing away on the computer. Looks like we're going to be going the wrong direction right now, actually. We haven't had our other indicator that we're working on paint yet, but it's very possible that it might push us above our put signal line for the QE5 today. I guess I could put my other line on here for you on the 1 minute chart as well to kind of see where it's at. I'd just like to thank everyone for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Feel free to hit that subscribe button. One of the things that my cousin and I definitely talk about is that with most of our signals coming before 1 p.m., guess about 75% of the signals before 1 p.m. that we would be able to go golfing every afternoon. Something we definitely look forward to for sure. Still good. Looks like we might be already turning back around. We've already hit our line of resistance going up. Some good movement down here again. Looking at my window of signals. It's actually the opposite of what I see on our signals right now, so we'll see what happens. We gotta wait for our minute to paint to see if these are gonna change. So we're only 3.5 minutes away though, actually. And from what our candlesticks are doing right now, it looks like we're in really good position. Yep, some of our signals are definitely leveling right now as well, so it looks like we're looking really good for a 1030 QE5 signal. With how volatile it is, it very well might just come right back after like immediately selling as well, so that would be something to look at also. So slide back down here, make sure that my amount is close. Yep, we should be okay. Yep, perfect, perfect. All right, 2 more minutes. I'll be able to look out of the corner of the eye over here at the 1 minute when it comes close down to that last minute. Aside that, I'm gonna once again look over here on the market view because this updates almost instantaneously when it comes to prices on here. Oh yeah, you trade in SPY. Yeah, holding calls right now would be definitely rough. Honestly, I mean, this is all just our opinion, and I mean, you're completely fine with not listening and whatnot, but uh, from my standpoint and the information that I've read and been reading and seeing, I don't expect it to pull back that much. I mean, it really just kind of depends, but specifically with today and the oil prices getting below $28, there's been a lot of indications that it's probably more likely to go lower before it's going to go back up. Being in for February 19th, though, you could very well be okay. That's something that we don't really trade in, but my inclination is that even in a month's time, we might still be around the same point that we are right now, in all honesty, or maybe even lower. I feel like every week it's like we're on eggshells. Like it can go one way or the other really badly. But once again, it's all just my opinion. Um, I hope it works out for you though. I really do. So we're definitely going to be painting our signal here. The QE5 indicator is specifically. We're definitely below. We're under the we're within 15 seconds. So what I'm going to look for is try and catch when it pops up a little bit, and then I'm going to place it. So we popped up a little bit there. We're green, 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 and we're going to place send it in there. And it just pops down a little bit. Hopefully we get a decent fill. It doesn't look too bad. We gap down just a slight touch on the fill, so that was actually perfect. So with our information we got, we're going to aim for 97 for our sell. And we're already moving in the correct direction. That's normally how this works. Change this to 119. Change this to 97. Gonna change the time and force. Good till canceled. Gonna preview and send that. Make sure our numbers are correct. have the right amount, have the right limit, send. So we're looking to take a little over 5%, 5.5%, say, and it looks like we're already moving in the correct direction pretty well here. Actually, it might already just sell. We're at 4 right now. Just so you know, the QE5 is quick and easy 5%, and we literally are looking to make 5% in a very short amount of time. It's definitely, if you're familiar with the terms, yep, there we go. And we just hit. If you're familiar with the term scalp trading, that's basically what it is. And in the stock market world, scalp trading is not a bad thing. Completely fine. And it's just something that in literally a minute and 6 seconds, you can make 5% on one trade. And once again, we just use 10% risk on this portfolio. This is a virtual account. We're just using this to show everyone exactly how it works. As you just saw, it took a minute to make 5%. We have a database logged with literally over 1,500 trades that we use to check against for how much our percentages go or do not go for. And the 5% is pretty much assured. If we have a signal, your chances of getting your 5% are, I would say, better than 85% easily. That's all being conservative. Again, that's just us trying to educate you on how we trade this. And with the volatility again, we're already moving back upwards because people hit the bottom here. And scalp traders like us, exactly what we just did, we're looking for those quick gains. So it's going to pull back a bit. Maybe we can get it above this line even before it paints at 10:45, and then we have another chance by 11 to have another QE5 trade. And we'd go for another 10% of our portfolio. Yeah, we don't really look for the longer term trades. I'm sure down the line that's something that we will get into. I apologize. I'm going to attempt your name, Zai or Z. You can tell me which one's right or wrong, or tell me in chat. But um, we're looking for the much shorter term things. We're looking to go golfing in the afternoon, to be honest with you. Nothing wrong with holding longer trades. Nothing wrong whatsoever. Just what we're looking to do is to make faster income and have to basically be less involved and less having to sit in front of the computer all day long. As I mentioned earlier, the QE5 indicator that we're going over here specifically, can get up a different screen here. You don't have to keep watching that. Pull up SPY. But specifically, this QE5 indicator does not need longer than easily 95% of the trades that we make are gone in under an hour. And then with that, we can just go golfing. I mean, granted, there's going to be a lot more involved with it in the time period, but um, like we'll probably be looking to do multiple strikes and that sort of a thing with more income as we go. But the biggest thing is just trying to help other people do the same thing that we are. Our success, your success. We'll teach you how to do it right here. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to type in chat. I am paying attention to both. If the music's too loud, please let me know. I can adjust that as well. Hope Wednesday's going great for you. So all our important information is pretty much out today. I am kind of curious how Australia is doing because their recent numbers are actually quite positive. And it would be interesting if theirs have been taking a downturn as well because of the oil prices as well as China's or the Asian markets in general with today being so volatile. This page I know does not reload or update correctly. Another good thing to do is I like to check in on the investing.com's top 5. I know that actually CNBC actually has another one that's pretty solid as well. They tend to mirror each other. I tend to actually read all of that before open. Some good things to keep up on. actually been part of the issue. Aha. Getting rid of some things that are using some of my resources. Oh, and we're going further. Wow. So we didn't have another arrow here, surprisingly. I really thought we would have. So we must have just skated by. One of our signals didn't quite make the cross that we were looking for. Wow. Our signals on the 15-minute chart are rock bottoming right now as well. And this is my issue with being in Japan. Sometimes my internet doesn't like to load. Even lower we go with the oil prices. This, I fear, is one of the biggest bad things that it's going on right now. And this is why I worry for you, Z. I'm sorry, I'm just going to stop. I'm going to call you Kong, I guess, because I can't say your first name correctly, and I feel bad saying it incorrectly. But until oil decides to figure out what's going on and realize and figure out where it is with Iran putting oil out there now, as well as the U.S. putting oil out there now. Oh, it's very scary if you're holding long-term positions right now, specifically calls. Got time though. That's one thing that's definitely on your side though. You definitely have time if you're holding a position for February. $10.37. All right. Darn it, I keep forgetting that I need to use my alt tab so I don't make your screens disappear for you. Any questions about what I went over here earlier? Or what I did with the QE5 indicator? It's pretty straightforward. Just two lines. We got a channel. We were sticking in the channel first 45 minutes after the hour. On the hour mark, actually, we had our first signal. A little bit of pullback going on right now. We did get down there pretty far. 182.79. Wow. I'm pretty sure that's our new yearly low, actually, going back to last year. That's even. How low did we get in August? I have to almost look this up now because I am curious. Nope, not quite the yearly low. Almost, though. We are only 0.35 from the yearly low in August. Actually, no, that was. No, it was August. Okay. I was right. So if you're interested in when we have our signals that actually, our indicator that actually signals, feel free to subscribe to our stream. We do definitely start the day with streaming for probably around the first 45 to an hour. Then after that, if there isn't much action, actually in the next maybe 15 minutes, half hour, I might be shutting down the stream until there's closer to another signal happening. Because you can see what I'm seeing, that it's not close to a line, which is our signal line. So now here we go lower. Um, our SPX is down. Excuse me, not down. It's up to 22%. Our 2.5 week hold on that. That's looking really good. So we're about 4 minutes out, and then I'm gonna go back over the trade that we had today, and just walk through it with you, and also kind of show you what's going on. In case you missed it at the beginning, we're just using a virtual trading account to show you what's uh, basically to keep track of this whole year. Essentially, we're just gonna run this with our QE5. We did add our another position in here for SPX. Through December, we were only using about 5% risk for our $100,000 portfolio that we were using, and in January we bumped it up to 10% risk. So since the beginning of January, we've been using that. Um, Today we already had one successful QE5 signal for a put that actually sold in a minute and 6 seconds. It was a 5.5% gain. That's basically all that we're looking for. QE5 literally means quick and easy 5%. My cousin Adam and I, running ARHK Holdings, he came up with it about over 5 years ago, and I came on board with him this past year, and we've been trading it, and we've finally decided to bring it to other people so that we can help you and making some extra money. So here we are doing our live trading room for you. Biggest goal is just to make sure you kind of understand how we're doing it and what we're doing. Hopefully you have a decent grasp of stock options and whatnot. People that came from stock twits, I'm sure you already know pretty much all of that. All the ins and outs and ups and downs and that sort of a thing. Got 2 more minutes till we would have our possibly next QE5 signal. It does not look like it's going to reset. Sorry, we're not going to have another signal until it goes back and paints back up in our channel here. I apologize, I misspoke. So we need it to reset before it can even signal again. So that's a half-hour process if it doesn't reset here in the next 2 minutes. Anyways, so. So just to go back over what we did earlier, gonna change this out to the 5 per to kind of show what's going on. Maybe even make it a little bit bigger. All right. Yeah, so we're pretty much assured at this point. Even more pullback actually right beforehand. Maybe it'll come back, but who knows? So basically, on the open, I have these two lines from signals that we use to set our lines for our QE5 signal indicator. And basically from these two lines, we have our channel. And when SPY is going to paint outside of our channel here is the direction of the signal that we're going to take. So specifically at 10:30, we had our signal that painted for, I'm going to take that off the screen for a little bit. We had our signal that painted for our put. And aiming to use about that 10% of our portfolio I put in was around 119. It ended up being actually almost spot on. It was only $80 off, so I was one off. If I had bought 120, it would have been perfect. So we placed that at 10:30. We had a decently good strike price actually as well. So it filled at 92. I think I actually might have been correct. No, we actually got it at a little bit of a discount. So we got it when it was dipping down just a little bit down here at 92. And then our target sell price was at 97. So 92, 97. And there is our 5.5 or so percent gain. Had you had the from open when it hit 98, 99. 99 would have been 6. The most you could have made was almost 30%, however. So we were just looking for 5, but it was good for almost 30%. Our position that we took specifically only took a minute and 5 seconds to sell. So that's basically what we're looking to do. And that's literally what our QE5 indicator is. We figure out where our resistance lines are for our call and put. I guess these are just markers, not really even resistance lines. I don't mean to misspeak there, but just to let you know that these lines are really just markers. So when it goes below that line, we're going to be taking the put. When it goes above this, paints above this line, we're going to be taking the call. But then for us to get another signal, this needs to go back into this channel and paint in there. Then we have a chance for another signal. So we're over 30 minutes away, unless this has some huge movement up. But the reason I changed this to the 5 minute was because we wanted to show you our other signal that we're working on actually is showing that we got a down signal. So what we're going to do actually is we're going to take the stream offline. Thanks so much for stopping in. Please subscribe. As soon as we have another signal that has a potential to come on, we'll come back live and we'll be able to walk you through that once again. I apologize if there's a little bit of delay, but just keep that in mind if you're trying to follow along with it. Just do your due diligence. We're just here for education. Check out our website. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on StockTwits. And with that, we will be back hopefully later today with another QE5 signal. Thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate it all.